Hi, it's Jessica DaMassa with WTF Health, and I'm here at Frontiers Health. And joining me right now, I love talking to startups. We've got a startup company here. This is Alessandro Faragli. He is the co-founder and CEO of BOCAhealth. So Alessandro, good to have you here.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure.
I love meeting new startups. So tell me a little bit about BOCAhealth. What do you guys do?
So BOCAhealth is a startup based in Berlin. And what we do is work in the Medtech field. What produces a portable device and a software aimed at monitoring at the hydration status of patients with chronic kidney disease and heart failure.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about this space from a medical standpoint, because I don't know very much about this. What is what you're doing? How is what you're doing different than what currently exists in this market to monitor hydration status?
So imagine that in this moment, patients with hydration many times are overlooked in the hospital. So they may develop decompensation events without doctors also knowing about it.
Okay.
Many times they're just checked by physical examination. They check, for example, how much water they drink, how much they urinate, but there's really not accurate devices that are used every day. It can be utilized in different settings, such as hemodialysis, and it can help the medical doctor understand the hydration status of the patient and what to do about it, because this is also the most important thing. And we try to intervene in this aspect.
Okay, so give me a sense of why this is so important, like how this helps prevent additional complications that are very debilitating to the patient's health or very expensive to the health system. Tell me a little bit about how this helps that.
So imagine that every adverse event the patient experiences, it means hospitalization, it means poor quality of life, it means, of course, a high cost the national care system and hospital need to sustain, apart from the fact that poor quality of life of the patient is the thing that we want to avoid. We want the patient to live longer and stay healthy. These events that happen, so they are caused by having too much water, overhydration, or either too little, so dehydration, are one of the main causes of hospitalizations nowadays. And it's even estimated that 1 out of 2 patients that are leaving the hospital are left with the problem of fluid management. So this is something that needs to be changed, because this means that if the problem is not solved, they will need to come back to the hospital, for example.
Okay. And so tell me a little bit about what you have at BOCAhealth then. So you said it's a device and there's also a digital platform to it. So explain to me a little bit about that.
So we work, of course, with the device that we develop ourselves, but there's also part related to software that is combined with machine learning, for example, and is able to keep track of the parameters of the patients, continuously measured and combine it with other parameters, for example, clinical status of the patients, other parameters that we get from a hospital, such as hemodialysis machines that are providing us some parameters. And we're able to combine these by giving a risk predictive score that the medical doctor can use and understand, let's say, the risk of the patient of developing a decompensation event, and also give a decision support system. So understand what to do in case the patient is going to experience a decompensation event.
Okay, and so it's quantifying something that was not very quantifiable before.
Exactly.
And then it's also providing some insight on what to do next.
Exactly.
Okay.
So the combination of the two things that was nowadays basically missing.
Okay. And so tell me a little bit, let's transition. Let's talk a little bit about BOCAhealth then. So you guys have this device, you own the IP on all of this. Yes. Okay. Very good. All right. So tell me a little bit about where you're at from a company standpoint. So, I mean, are you fundraising right now? Are you in an accelerator program? Tell us where you're at.
We are fundraising. We are looking for 1 million seed round. In the meantime, we are, let's say, piloting with different companies. One of them is B. Brown, which is a big market share in hemodialysis. So it could be one of our first, let's say, either customer or partner to distribute. Needs to be figured out.
Good.
But we are running an accelerator program with them. And let's say we are figuring out other collaboration to go in other fields. For example, in cardiology field, we are talking with different companies. In gynecological field, so intensive care unit, we are seeking out as us being the kind of Internet of Things. So we provide the technology that can be integrated in different settings. Potentially, the business model could be selling our device together with other technology and other solutions. So in this moment, basically, we are fundraising. So we have more or less than 1 year to go if we are able to fundraise and go to the market with the first version of the device of the product in 2020.
Okay. And so you're based here in Berlin, you said, yes?
We are based in
Okay. And so your pilot is taking place here in Berlin as well. Okay.
Basically in Germany, yes, and also in Italy, because in the end of the day, we come from Italy as a core team. But of course, we found a really nice environment here in Berlin. So we are trying also to build a bigger team in Berlin and spread.
Fantastic. Well, very best of luck to you. It's a pleasure
you
to
so
talk
much.
to you and hear a little bit about the way that you're innovating in this space. Very cool.
Thank you so much.
No problem. It's a pleasure. I'm Jessica DaMassa here with WTF Health at Frontiers Health. Talk to you guys soon.